Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Play us in.
What does that mean?
That was fucked. Oh, man.
That's the best part of that video. He can't figure out what play us out means.
Oh, yeah, was it Play Us Out? He fucking been in radio for like fucking 10 years by that point or more.
I could figure it out. I guess I've been in radio, but at that point, I'd never been in radio ever.
Where'd you get Ice Cube? Fuck. I didn't know they had
Ice Cube tray.
I didn't know they had Ice Cubes. God damn it.
I don't know what's going on. Facebook's struggling here.
Fuck Facebook.
Fuck Zuck. Hashtag.
Fetching. It says fetching video stream.
Fat life, what?
Felching what? I don't know. It doesn't show it on here, but it looks good. So, let me see here. All right. Welcome to ACAB Radio. This is episode 43. I'm your host, Jay Lyfer, King Ron, Kelly, Special K, Patterson. And yeah, we are ACAB Radio. We got a very special guest today. Let me see here.
Yep.
Nathan Dimoff. What's going on?
That's good.
All right. For those of you that may not be familiar with Nathan, he has done a lot of stuff. You've written for Photography is Not a Crime, right? And well, why don't you give the people your resume for those that might not be familiar?
Yeah, about 4 or 5 years ago, I started a local chapter for Cop Block. Went from there to Cop Watch to on the street activism to writing for Peanut News.
That's what's up. Very active, man. I like to hear it. So today we definitely got to talk about your most recent story that you guys broke. That was pretty impressive. A lot of work went into it. I saw you pulled a bunch of screenshots from it. So why don't you tell the people about this challenge? I'm sure everybody that's watching already heard about the Feeling Cute challenge, but this is the man behind the curtain here. So why don't you tell them about it?
Well, about a week ago, not this last Sunday, but the one before, there was a Facebook group that was public, filled with a bunch of correctional officers, and they were taking pictures of themselves and captioning it while in uniform or while in the jail with abusive captions toward inmates, or suggesting abusive captions.
Mm-hmm.
And we screenshots of it, and we made the public.
Nice, man. Yeah. I saw even RT picked up the story. So I have that clip. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, Nate, but when it ends, I'll say something so you know it's over. But I'm going to play that clip real quick. Not the whole thing, just a few minutes. So just bear with us. Here it goes.
All right.
Since the very first tweet or MySpace post, social media has been a boon to bringing worlds together. But like with many of humanity's great breakthroughs in communication, with all the good comes the bad. And this week certainly showed us some of that bad, thanks to our friendly neighborhood law enforcement and corrections officers who took a fun-loving social media challenge to a very dark level. Called the Feeling Cute Challenge, the viral fun started after a Columbus Waterworks employee posted a pic of himself stating, "Feeling cute, might cut your water off later, I don't know." This inspired many in uniform jobs around the country to send in similar photos under the hashtag Feeling Cute Challenge. That's when the controversy began, after law enforcement officers and corrections officers started posting photos with captions declaring, "Feeling cute, might just tase your girlfriend later. Feeling cute, might deliver OC spray to your baby daddy today. Feeling cute, might take your homeboy to the hole today. And feeling cute, might shoot your baby daddy today." So is this just viral media fun, or has Viral Challenge exposed a dangerous mindset and lack of morality in our law enforcement community?
Somebody gets it.
Today,
All right, I think that's enough. They brought on a guest that said some good things about it, but if you haven't seen it, head over to RT Watching the Hawks. It's a good episode. They talk about Julian Assange too. But yeah, man, it's pretty fucking cool. At least I know we can't count on the mainstream media, but at least RT picked it up, and I saw the Washington Post actually had an article on it. So yeah, definitely got some attention. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, actually, enough, Fox actually picked it up.
Oh, nice.
Who picked it up? I missed that.
Fox.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, head over, if you haven't read it yet, head over to America's Police Problem. There's 2 articles on there, right? Police across America take feeling cute challenge to new dangerous level. And you've got a bunch of screenshots there and the rundown. So if you haven't read that yet, check it out. We'll, I think we shared the link on the page. If not, we'll share it again or in the comments to this. And then you did a follow-up article. Officers are being fired for feeling cute challenge while others join the challenge. So yeah, how many officers got fired? Do you know?
From the articles I've read, I want to say it was a ballpark anywhere between 16 and 20, counting. I don't know if some of them were duplicates or not because they wouldn't release the names, but I would say anywhere between 16 to 20.
That's awesome, man. Shit. I mean, if we can't get them fired for murdering people, at least we can get them fired for, Facebook posts.
Well, they'll just show up at other departments and other correctional facilities in other states.
Right, gypsy
So, I mean,
cops.
it's not a definite that they're out of the way of harming the public. They'll just be shuffled.
Right, yeah. That's
But,
unfortunate.
I'm glad, that they're removed from those areas anyway.
Yeah, for sure. So why don't you, I don't know how in depth you want to get into your modus operandi, but how did it come about, exposing these people? Did you have help, or are you in these groups that they were shared in? How did you do it, brother?
Yeah, I had a couple of friends and people I associate with reach out to me on Facebook. And they took a couple of screenshots and then posted and tagged me. And then, being curious, I joined in the group. I had to lie saying I was a correction officer to get in, but
Right.
I got in. And I saw picture after picture after picture.
Damn.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the police have a history of exposing themselves on websites and social media. Because Police One used to be a place that everybody would go to see the real fucking way that police think, because they would post something and then in the comments all the cops would talk about murdering people and beating people and all this other shit. They actually had to shut down the comment section so that you have to be a registered member of the site. Which part of that process is they have to research you and prove that you're an actual cop. So because they were exposing themselves with so much bullshit on the comment section, they shut it down so you can't read it unless you've been investigated and determined that you're an actual cop.
Right. Yeah, it's like they feel comfortable in those echo chambers that they build for themselves, and they say some shit that they wouldn't say out in public, but it is all public. So I mean, if you can infiltrate them.
I've actually had the unfortunate time when I was invited to holiday dinners at a cop's house.
Oh shit.
And they didn't know exactly what I do, and I was invited by a friend who was a mutual friend that didn't realize. And the same shit that they're posting here, they talk and laugh about amongst their family and friends at holiday dinners.
Yeah, I bet.
So there's nothing unusual about this. This is not unique.
The other time when they were caught on camera, singing their song about Mike Brown.
Right.
I mean, that's a window into their true mentality is what it is.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying when they don't think anybody's watching.
Right. In their natural habitat.
And when you see those videos of them beating and killing people, that's what they're doing when they think nobody's watching. Sometimes they know people are watching and they still
They
do
just
it.
don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite horrific.
Yeah, I like the memes that came out of this too. People poking fun at the whole situation and posting like funny ass pics of cops. I've seen like feeling cute, might shoot your dog later or something like that. And
Yeah, you sure that's not a cop that didn't post that one?
yeah, that might have been a real one. Might not even have been satire, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
they speaking. I mean, you saw that they broke into the wrong house again and shot the dog, but I'll maybe talk about that later.
Oh yeah.
Well, they also had that, on Twitter they had my NYPD, which was, supposed to be one of those things where you're celebrating the cops, and then everybody was posting, videos of them killing people and, pictures of them beating people and all that. So social media isn't like the friends of the cops. They always fucking
Right.
put their fucking foot in their ass. And
Well, I mean, even at some of the press conferences, the shit that they say, they speak their true heart. They slip up. They become so comfortable with their, perceived perception of authority, and so we've seen that a few times
Yeah, for sure.
during stories.
Yeah.
That's when they let you in the conferences.
No.
Right.
Yeah. Well, these are televised. I mean, it's not even like the private ones. It's the ones that go out over, TV and stuff, where they get caught, speaking their true thoughts, and they have to, of course, backpedal and clarify. So.
I didn't have a chance to pull up an image of this, but I saw on your page, America's Police Problem, that you guys have also been a victim of censorship. I saw there was at one point, I don't know if you were unpublished, I think it was, or I know like you had problems. Yeah, talk about the censorship that you guys have been facing.
Yeah, before Facebook really cracked down on independent media and police accountability pages and groups, we were probably within the first 10 to get knocked. They first unpublished the page, and then when we tried appealing it, they completely killed the page, and we had to start all over from scratch.
Oh, shit. Yeah, man, it's frustrating. A bunch of people have fallen victim to the censorship. We've just had, shadow bans, like soft censorship. We haven't been unpublished, thankfully, since the majority of our work relies on Facebook, unfortunately. But yeah, a lot of our friends, Cop Block and the Free Thought Project, Police to Police, a lot of these bigger pages have definitely been dealing with this and had to do the same thing, just start a new page. But it looks like you guys came back with a vengeance, man. It's awesome. Definitely doing some good work.
We're trying.
I made sure to mark like see first or whatever to your page so that it always shows up in my news feed. You know what I mean? Because if I don't, I won't see you. Yeah. Yeah. So everybody watching, if you're wondering, like, how come Nevada Cop Block hasn't posted anything, or how come America's Police Problem hasn't posted anything lately? We're posting shit. Facebook just won't let you see it. So one way to circumvent the shadow bans that they place on us is you can go into your newsfeed settings and click see first, and you select whatever pages you really like, and you can select only a limited number of pages, but yeah, definitely click see first for Nevada Cop Block.
Yeah, ACAB
America's
Radio.
Police Problem, ACAB Radio.
Yeah, that's the first one you click. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's
it's important that you click that one, even if you don't click any others. You gotta click the ACAB Radio.
But yeah, that's been one way that I've been able to, make sure I still see the things I want to see that I know the powers that be don't want me to see, So that's one way to combat it. The others is, of course, to leave Facebook, go to other platforms like Minds, or we're not on MeWe yet, but we are on Minds. So if you're on Minds, definitely follow ACAB Radio on there. Yeah, so there are alternatives out there. We just got to do to Facebook what they did to MySpace and make the shift,
Right. Right.
What about you guys? Is America's Police Problem on any other platforms, or you got your website, right?
Yeah, we got the website, and then we dabble a little bit with Twitter, but we haven't done much there.
Okay.
mainly just Facebook.
Well, the website's a great way to make sure that, you can't be censored. So definitely bookmark. What is it? America's Police Problem, just one word, right? AmericasPoliceProblem.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely bookmark that, people, and ACABradio.com for sure. Just to make sure that you can always find us. nvcopblock.org, foodnotbombslasvegas.org, all great websites where you can follow what we got going on and not have to worry about censorship. Yeah, man, I just wanted to bring you on to say, great job, and I think you guys did obviously put in a lot of man hours and manpower behind this, and it paid off. You got some cops fired, which out here in Vegas at least is very hard to do. It's hard to get any accountability, get somebody fired, even if everybody knows that they should be, they still won't fire them. So it's good to see that you're harnessing social media, even though we are at odds with them at times, that you're harnessing the power of social media to force accountability, which is why we encourage filming the police, because it's these viral videos and these viral articles that can make a difference. People say, why do you always share all this negative cop stories? It's not doing anything but creating hatred towards cops. Well, yeah, that too, but it's also forcing accountability, right? We don't do this for no reason. We actually are seeing that what we do does create an impact, right?
Right. They had that old saying, man, you should hate the message, not the messenger. And we're just the messenger. We shine a light.
Yep.
We don't create these situations. We're just reporting them and letting other people see. So, we're not responsible for the police's action in any way, shape, or form. Hopefully, we will give them a shift and give them pause if they decide to act violently, as they often do. Maybe they'll think twice, being like, damn, I don't want to show up all over the internet looking like the murderous thug that I am. So maybe I should just, cool my shit down a little bit. So.
Yeah, they don't want to be the next viral video, Some of them do. Some of them are just fucking head cases like that and really don't give a shit. But
Yeah.
for the most part, once a cop sees they're on camera, they do tend to act different, and you can...
Or enrage them.
That too.
Some of them do get fucking enraged when you pull out the camera. They really take offense.
Yeah, you know what? On that note, let's jump into one of these other stories I wanted to talk about today. This is cops think epileptic man's walking aid is a weapon, so they attack and arrest him. So this is a story from the Free Thought Project. Definitely bookmark them as well. Go check them out. But this guy saw... There's a video too. I didn't queue up the video, but this guy saw cops harassing homeless people that were just sitting on the sidewalk eating a meal.
Yep.
With their belongings. This is nothing new. We cover stories like this all the time.
Very uncommon, or it's a very common practice by the police.
Absolutely. But this guy started filming it, and then like you said, their attention turned to him simply for filming, and they end up roughing him up because he wouldn't put down his walking stick, which he shows in the video too. So if you haven't read this article, head over to either Police to Police 2.0 or 3.0. I don't know what they are now, but
yeah. So that's the excuse that they settled on to, try to justify why they beat him up.
Right.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
They didn't think his walking stick was a weapon.
No, and this guy clearly wasn't a threat.
Right. I mean, I don't know. They're talking about the police and harassing the homeless. Traditionally, we serve on Sundays at Food Not Bombs. Mm-hmm. And, I guess it's always Easter Sunday. And I was going out about 5:30, 6 a.m. To start cooking and getting ready. And as I'm driving past on Easter Sunday, I drive past the church in my neighborhood. And there's a cop car, man, at like fucking 6 o'clock a.m. And the cop's out there hassling a homeless dude inside the church parking lot on Easter Sunday.
Jesus.
And I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it just seemed, somehow, it kind of encapsulated everything, especially like with the Easter story and stuff, of the abuse. And I thought, man, things haven't changed. It's been, 2,000 years, and the authorities are still hassling. People are just out there who are traveling around homeless, really doing nothing
Yeah.
other than existing. It just seemed the timing and everything.
Yeah.
Kind of just hit me at the time. I'm like, fuck, man.
Right.
You'd think that they'd have more compassion on this day, but absolutely
It does
not.
seem like with the homeless harassment that it does ramp up around the holidays. Like, it's crazy. Thanksgiving out here is when they were issuing more citations for people that were, sharing food. And yeah, it's around the holidays that they really crack down. It just doesn't make any sense. You would think that they would learn from all the negative publicity that they get, but they have no shame, man,
Well, they keep pushing it, and they want to normalize it. They have to knock that compassion out of the people. And most people just go about their daily lives, and they only start thinking about, like, others around the holidays, because that's, what we're taught. Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, or all these times when we're supposed to reach out to our community. And, they want to make sure that they go out and they double up their efforts to fuck with people. So when people who like to go out and serve their communities, start shying away, it's an effort to destroy compassion. So
Yeah, I see it.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was a crazy story. This dude got the whole thing on camera, thankfully, and I'm sure he'll be suing. But then we know what happens even if you win a civil suit. It's the taxpayers that have to pay that out. This cop's not going to be held responsible, right? So what are some crazy stories that happened this week that you guys talked about or shared on your page or on your website? I know you've been busy with the Feeling Cute challenge and everything, but I know there's no shortage of just crazy fucking police stories every week.
Yeah. That one that you mentioned, plus there's so many of them.
Right. I'm just trying to share this out real quick.
Yeah. If you're out there listening, you could always text us a message if you have any questions or comments that you'd like to see. We'll, if we have time, we'll read them and answer them. So if you're listening live, man, don't remain hidden behind your computer screen or your phone. Become an active member. This is an interactive type of show. So we'd love to see you guys come and make comments. And I know there's quite a few of you who's out there because you've done it before. We'd love to hear from you again.
So a few of the things we've been talking about is about the New York City's DA list that have questionable credibility.
Sorry, you were
There's
breaking up there for a second. Can you repeat that real quick?
Yeah. This week we've been really focusing on the Feeling Cute challenge, and then also New York. One of the things that came about was New York City has a secret list of cops that can't be used in court because of their questionable credibility.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
So, what was the story? They were like trying to get the names of the officers or something, or I remember reading a story that there's just so many cops that are still out on the streets and can arrest you and write tickets and whatnot, but they can't testify in court because of credibility issues, like you said. But they haven't specified why exactly you can't trust this person's word, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
That's the guy I want pressing charges or writing citation tickets for me. A known liar or perjurer who has, fast and loose with the truth.
Yeah,
There's no protection at all for yourself when you run into cops like this. And there's more than just a handful, I'm telling you now.
I got another story here queued up. This was just fucking crazy when I saw this. There's a video too, again from the Free Thought Project. Officers laugh as they chain 4 black men to table, allow white supremacists to stab them.
Yep.
So these dudes are playing spades, and they're all shackled to the table, and they're shackled at the ankles, I believe. And this dude's with the Aryan Brotherhood just runs up and just starts stabbing, tries to get all 4 of them. I don't think he got all 4 of them, but nearly killed him. Thankfully, they did all survive, but no thanks to the guards. The guards didn't show up to help until like 10 minutes had gone by, and then like another 10 minutes until the nurses arrived. And the cops, once they got there, didn't try to stop any bleeding or anything like that. And they actually maced one of the dudes that got stabbed, and it's like, dude, what the fuck? So it makes you wonder.
It's almost like they had an agreement with that guy that was stabbing people.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's, you know, cops and Klan go hand in hand, and that's one of the theories, is that they set this up to allow this to happen.
Yeah, you think?
I mean, I don't think an officer would ever do something like that.
Like they've done 100 times before. But not this time.
No,
Not this time. This time they didn't.
They would never. Yeah, it's just crazy. Thankfully, nobody died. The dude's out now. I believe there's an interview with him on there, and they are fighting for justice, trying to, again, not just get money out of it through a civil suit, but get some accountability.
They should definitely get money. I mean, unfortunately, that's the only way that the city will learn. I mean, you got to start bankrupting their budgets, man, through these actions, and it's up to the people to make sure that these judgments are high enough that they feel it. It comes out of the taxpayers' dollars, and unfortunately, man, you have to make the taxpayers squeal, and get angry at it, having to pay for the behavior of these correctional officers and these other pig officers that are out there. It's the only way you could kind of force change. So, when we say it's unfortunate that the citizens have to pay because police departments pay, well, man, you make the people pay enough, there'll be a larger movement. People will take notice, and try to force change through this and show that it's not acceptable.
Also, if you hit their departments and the departments become cash-strapped, I mean, maybe that'll prevent more officers from being hired. Maybe it'll prevent them from getting that new fucking MRAP that they want or whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, more likely they'll cut school programs to keep funding the cops.
Right.
Yeah, or any other sort of
unfortunately.
social programs. They won't open the public pools in the neighborhoods,
Yeah.
and all that shit. Just to keep the schools funded or the cops funded. Though I heard an interesting thing from a friend of mine in Washington State. They were going to fire some teachers and hire school security officers for a college, police. And the folks got together, and they made sure that the teachers were hired and the cops were not, to keep more teachers into the colleges. So there is, you can make differences. It wasn't through voting, and it was through direct action. People standing up and taking it right to the school and making themselves heard, that they were able to change.
I saw a similar thing. It was a high school or middle school where they were trying to bring in like resource officers, and the students pushed back along with some faculty saying, we need counselors, not cops. And
Right.
they actually won that fight for that particular school district and got some more counselors instead of cops in the schools. Because
Listen,
that's become a problem in itself. One of these stories I got.
okay, I was
queued up
just going to
here.
say that I didn't get to send it out, but there's another friggin' resource pig beating a 14-year-old student. I don't know if
Where
this
they
is.
smashed his face?
Yeah, is
I
this
got
the
it right
story?
here, yeah.
So
Look at this shit.
if
This
you have
is-
kids and they go to school, this shouldn't be one of your worries as a parent
Mm-hmm.
when you send your kid to school.
It was the fucking Broward cowards again.
figures.
Out of Florida, you know, all the craziest stories come out of Florida, I swear. Right here, disturbing video shows cop repeatedly smash kid's face into pavement, leaving a pool of blood. A town is outraged after disturbing video showed Broward deputies throw a teen to the ground, punch him in the head, and smash his face into the pavement. So I'm not going to play the whole thing, but here's a quick clip.
Now calling a case of police brutality. Video showing police using mace on at least one of 2 teenagers. Local 10 News reporter Kristen De La Rosa live now with a controversial video for us tonight. Christian.
Calvin, there are still blood stains on the street here. That's how violent things got as dozens of young people were watching and recording. A Broward County deputy pepper sprays a teen. Another deputy seen swinging a punch, banging the teen's head on the street. Blood stains can be seen on the ground. Multiple witnesses recording on their cell phones.
There's going to be another fight here.
Students from nearby J.P. Taravella High School tell us they showed up here outside the McDonald's on Pine Island and Southgate Road to see a fight. BSO is telling Local 10 News their deputies were responding to that fight, arresting 2 teenagers, one for battery on a law enforcement officer and another for resisting.
You can clearly see that
this
kid's
man who
battering
also
that police
witnessed what
officer.
happened says that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You could see in the video he didn't hit
And you
any
also
cop
notice
or-
on the intro they minimize it by saying that he pepper sprayed at least one of 2 kids.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
That's their big takeaway. You know, their big caption for that.
You know, when I see these videos, man, there was a video that was taken in China of a police officer, a Chinese police officer, getting out of line with a woman. I think she might have been like a vendor. And the entire community came and beat the fuck out of that officer for putting his hands on that woman, who wasn't violent. I mean, you know, the cop was getting aggressive, and the community got together and stomped the fuck out of that cop.
Yeah.
They stomped his fucking ass. Good. And that sends a message that, you know, the communities don't stand.
Yeah.
And of course, that was China, and I'm not suggesting that people do that in the United States. All I'm saying is that the people in China take responsibility for their people against authority that are abusive.
Yeah.
You know, this is, you know, you say, when I was growing up, they always use China as, you know, the example of, oh, you be glad you live in America. You don't want to live in China. They're authoritarian. They, you know, they lock you up. They have large prison systems. And here we see that they have a lot more freedom and take responsibility for their community members more than they do here.
Yeah. I just saw this cool meme. It was it says it has a picture of Stalin. It says under Stalin, repression was so severe that Soviet gulags held 22% of the world's entire prison population. Oh, just kidding. That's the United States today.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's everybody likes to talk about North Korea or China or Russia, how bad it is there, and it's like, dude, we've got the largest prison population and our fucking of the world. You know what I mean? And police brutality just doesn't exist like this in other countries.
No, the people take responsibility. They're not afraid to challenge the police, and they're not afraid to challenge the police en masse. I mean, you know, everybody from grandmothers to parents to shopkeepers and kids get out on the street and make it known that this is not acceptable. Here we put our heads down and, you know, we watch the thing and we say, oh, that's too bad. Or even worse, you bootlick and be like, well, they must have had it coming. They must have did something. You know, it's disheartening when you see how compliant, how sheep-like we've all become in this country.
There's also an extension to that stat because part of that is that I believe it's 5% that the United States represents of the world population, but 22% of the prison population worldwide.
Right.
Yep.
And Louisiana is the number 2 highest rate of incarceration behind the entire United States.
Damn.
So Louisiana
really
by
bad
itself
down there,
beats North Korea and China and those other countries that are so horribly
And the
totalitarian.
Well, shit, the population of Louisiana, you would think that larger states like California that have huge populations would meet that number. We have one little state, you know.
Well, that is
Who makes
that part of of it is per capita, so it's not a direct number.
Oh, it's not.
It's a percentage.
Oh, I see.
based on population, but at the same time, it's the incarceration rate. They're number 2 behind the United States in its entirety.
Yeah. Louisiana's special.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's well, I definitely think, the prison industrial complex, the for-profit prisons, has something to do with that. But then, yeah, just to compare it to other countries, how other countries, will say, oh, well, they've got work camps over there. They're, what is it, labor camps? Well, we have the same shit here. When you're in prison here,
We have slave labor camps.
yeah, you're doing
They are
slave labor too.
camps.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's,
But they
the
don't frame
direct-
it like that when they talk about our prisons. You know what I mean? When you talk about North Korea or China, it's
course
like,
not.
oh, well, they've got all their people locked up in labor camps. And it's like, well, what the fuck do you think's going on here?
And they don't really speak about countries like Denmark, Sweden, Finland, whose prison systems are a lot more advanced than ours. You don't see, they don't talk about the recidivism rates in those countries, or the rehabilitation. In a lot of these countries, there's always the people always have a chance of release. They work towards that, and then they're reintegrated within that society once again. Here we do everything we can to keep them, even after you do your time. We, make sure that your life is so fucked up and it's so difficult to reintegrate that you have no choice but to go back in. I mean, they force it.
Yeah.
And it's intentional.
Yep.
Because they need the workers.
Return business, right? Yeah.
That's one thing, is they get money, that the prisons get money per prisoner, but also the prison businesses, because they contract out to other corporations, need these fucking workers, because, God forbid they actually had to hire workers at a fucking decent wage. They wouldn't be making the obscene profits that they do. So, when you got slave labor, that's what they're going to go for.
Yeah.
Not to take in, folks. It's a lot to take in.
Right. What else you got going on, Nathaniel, man? What's you got some more stories to talk about from your website, or?
Just there's other stories from New York, but all we've been really focused on this week is New York and the challenge.
Right. This I got one more queued up here. It was pretty fucking crazy. These trigger happy cops out of New Haven, Connecticut. There was a car that they pulled up on that they thought fit the description of an armed robbery suspect. Cop gets out of the car and they just immediately start dumping on this vehicle, and shot a 22-year-old passenger, Stephanie Washington. So I'll play the video real quick. It's real short. There's no audio either, so hold on.
All right, we could talk over it then. That shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
It won't compete with any sound.
Here's the victims.
Okay, they're just driving along. They pass the cop.
Yeah.
Dark street. Locked in. Where the fuck is he running? He shoots and shoots and runs 2 blocks down or 2 car lengths down.
Yeah, he's just a coward, dude. He thinks he's in. Look, he's acting like he's in a fucking full-blown shootout.
And there was no return fire. Nobody.
No return fire. No weapons in the vehicle.
So he runs up, executes them. This is like an assassination.
Yeah.
I've seen other videos. They run up, bang bang, and then run away. This is nice. Nice. This is what we have to look forward to.
So the community's been
Really
not
upset?
up in arms, but up in banners with their in the streets protesting. Just fucking pissed, dude, and rightfully so.
Did he get any sort of accommodation now for this action?
I'm
Or
sure
is
he'll
this
get a
later?
promotion or something. Yeah, or medal of honor.
After he
some
fucking
shit.
gets his paid vacation for a little bit.
Right. Yeah, it's just crazy, man. I think that's all the stories I got queued up here. But I do want to go through this group here. Hold on. Bear with me for a second.
Well, I mean, it only happened yesterday, so the details aren't
Oh,
all
yeah,
there.
that's
but,
right.
The retired cop last night,
Yeah, she was a detective.
yeah, shot her ex-son-in-law who was there visiting his child.
Here in Vegas?
Yeah.
I haven't even heard
Shot
about
him
this yet.
10 times.
Yep.
And,
Yeah.
according to description, they were defensive wounds.
Damn.
And they've actually charged her with murder, which tells you it's a horrible case that they actually charge a cop with murder.
Yeah, man. She fucking opened up on this dude. Young guy, I think he was in his 20s.
Her
So,
son-in-law?
right. It's,
Ex-son-in-law.
right.
Okay.
The mother, and he had visitation. He came over for his visitation. They said the incident happened. The mother and the child were upstairs. And she was downstairs alone with their son-in-law. There was some sort of problem. They didn't say if it was an argument or whatever, but all we know is that he got shot 10 times. 10 times is unarmed. Do you know what it takes to shoot somebody 10
Today,
times?
when he went to court, the DA asked to hold him without bail. So that tells you, I mean, on top of the murder charge, that tells you that this case is horrible for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't cover for her.
Oh, another local story I forgot to queue up was that dog. They shot a dog out here.
Yeah.
Killed a dog out here doing a wellness check.
The dog ain't
forget
doing
what
too
the-
fucking well, is it?
Yeah, I forget what the stats are, man, but it's something like fucking 40 dogs a day nationwide that cops kill. I didn't fact check it. It was in a meme, so you can't really trust memes. But.
Right. I mean, listen, there's no reason that the police or military should be using animals as cannon fodder, and they do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't be using horses.
Right.
It's just animal cruelty to the nth degree, and it also protects these cowards. And instead of them doing what they were paid to do, it's easier to send a dog in. And plus they use the horses as weapons. I mean, they use the dogs also as weapons when they bite. I've been victim of the horse, where they've used them to push and shove and use them as battering rams and, to trample people,
Trying to see if anybody commented on here real quick. Looks like JP.
Hey, JP.
He's a First Amendment auditor out here in Vegas. Prince Vegeta said he's watching what's going on. JP, definitely follow him on YouTube. JP, I want to have you on the show, man, with some other auditors. Maybe we'll do like a auditor special edition episode or something. Get everybody together, Josh and Roger, and some of the other people you work with. But I saw one of your recent audits. I think it was at post office, that one where the fucking cop showed up, and just because you were filming, he ended up like choking you, grabbed you by the throat, and like threw you on the hood of the car. But yeah, man, definitely send us a message and we'll try to coordinate that, because that was crazy. And then Lee A. Warren said, where did that happen? I don't know what Lee's talking about. But
Oh, I'm sorry.
sorry, Lee, I just saw your comment, so I'm not sure.
So could have been. One was in Florida. This last story was in Vegas.
They're talking about the detective. It's a LVMPD officer.
I think it was in
Retired.
Henderson, right?
Yeah, and the one harassing the
No,
homeless.
No, it was
It was
Summer.
Metro.
Right. I was just thinking. I'm trying to.
Where
I
it
saw the
happened.
address. Yeah,
I
I
mean-
saw the address and I actually knew the address, and I'm like, oh, pretty decent neighborhood. So
And the harassing the homeless, where the guy was filming and then they beat him up, that was Boulder, Colorado. The prison one, where the guards let the white supremacists stab 4 black dudes that were chained to a table, that was Lucasville Prison in Cincinnati, Ohio.
and that happened a while ago because I remember
Yeah,
reading that
I
a
think it was
couple of
beginning
months,
of the
3
year, yeah.
man, it happened, and you thought it would have gotten more play than it did, but
Yeah.
I'm glad we had that on the show today.
And then the Broward Cowards, smashing the high school student's face into the pavement. That was Tamarack, Florida. And then New Haven, Connecticut was 22-year-old Stephanie Washington that was shot by
Yeah, the
Connecticut
coward cop
officer.
came out and tried to perform an assassination on some innocent folks
Yep, it's
under the
crazy.
pretext of saying that they fit the description of a robbery suspect,
Yeah.
which is just bullshit. He was just out because he wanted to kill that night. He, fucking smelt blood and wanted it. Trigger happy bastard.
All right. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, what's going on, Nate? You still with us, man? Look like you froze over there. Oh no, okay,
Yes.
I see you.
Yeah.
You were
He's
just
reading-
posted up.
He
I
was-
want to make sure it didn't freeze. Yeah, man. So you're in the same line of work as us, man. So you see these stories every day, just a news story, headline after headline of just crooked cops, police terrorism, outright murder. I mean, how do you feel? Do you ascribe to the ACAB mentality, or are you more? You seem to me like somebody who believes in ACAB, but I don't know. Some people that are
Yeah, cool.
fully all right. Because I mean, we do have guests on the show that don't share in our beliefs that all cops are bastards. Some
Or they don't
guests-
want to admit that they believe in that because of other reasons.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, some people, depending on their line of work, might not be able to talk about that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, I figured you were. I mean, I saw a meme of you using the thin blue line flag as toilet paper, so I figured you're one of us. For sure, that was a good one. And then there was another feeling cute might stand on the thin blue line flag. I saw that one too. That was cool. But yeah, man, after seeing all these news stories, I know this shit gets to me. Like, I mean, sometimes I get pissed off, reading all these news stories about police. Sometimes when they kill innocent people, it's like, it's heartbreaking when you think about the families. And so, I mean, I don't know, man. What do you do to keep a level head when you're sorting through all this fucking just evil shit that the police do on a weekly basis,
I try to keep my mind busy and going and focusing on anything and everything. I don't give it time to set and rest on thinking about bad things. Otherwise, it eats me up.
Right. Because you're a family man too, right?
Yeah, I got a little 6-year-old princess.
That's what's up. Yeah, I got a 3-year-old son, so it's crazy when you think about the state of the world. Whether you're an anti-war activist and you're seeing the atrocities going on in Yemen that our government's helping, the Saudi coalition to commit genocide, basically, or
Man, the Saudis, I think they executed like 19 people yesterday. I forget the exact number or something like that.
Dude.
And they crucified one.
oh fuck.
So that was, I mean, they execute a lot over there, but
Yeah, when they do it,
when
it's
they
like-
crucify, that's kind of unique. They don't do that all the time.
I didn't
And
think
they
they
had-
anywhere did that.
No, they still
Fuck.
crucify, yeah. That was in the paper today that I saw.
That's crazy. I know they fucking cut people's heads off like on a weekly basis in like the town square and shit. But yeah, it's crazy. They throw gay people off of buildings and shit. You know what I mean? Like it's they're ass backwards over
we
there.
support,
but then,
all this. We support their regimes.
then you got Trump trying to sell them billions of dollars worth of weapons because these are great people that we want on our side.
And, well, he also, Trump owns hotels in some of these countries. And he's laying the foundation to build more.
Yeah.
I'm sure when he gets out of office, because this is all
Yeah, I'm sure.
he's gonna lay the foundations, and he's doing fucking favors, so he'll get paid back once he gets out of office. Like every other politician, he's not unique in that respect.
Right.
They all fucking make sure that they're all taken care of by getting corporate jobs and lobbying jobs that pay really well when they get out of office, so they can keep
Yeah,
rolling in the dough at the expense of the people.
Yeah, the revolving door is real. You know what I mean? In all levels of government, they'll work for a company, and then they'll wind up in government, and then they'll end up back at another company that because of
Exactly.
what they did in office that to help that company.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the problem with having a businessman run the most powerful country in the world. You know what I mean? Is he's gonna always have business interests in mind as well. So,
Yeah.
like you're saying, yeah, it's fucked up. But yeah, when you think about the fucked up state of the world, so I brought up family because that's what helps me get through. And not just get my mind off of shit, but then when my mind's on it, it helps me like push through, you know what I mean? Try to make the world a better place for my son. And, you know, also the shit that, I mean, yeah, the police brutality is worse for minorities in this country right now, right? I mean, more white people got killed last year than black people, but when you take into account the proportion of the population, they are killed. Black people were killed at a much higher rate than white people. And I feel like some of these white people that have that supremacist mentality, like they're better than others, or those that don't want to rock the boat so they don't speak out, it's like, look, you're not going to be a majority forever. You know what I mean? Like a couple generations, you're going to be a minority, and then police are going to be doing the shit to you. Like, think about it like that. If whatever helps you to get involved, you know what I mean? Like, people need to start saying something, even if you're not affected, because shit's just getting worse, you know? And the more people that get involved, I feel like maybe we can really make a change, because this shit's just getting old, man. Getting old real quick.
That's a huge challenge that was so successful is because people finally joined in.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, I thought that was great when I saw people were getting fired or resigning. You know, they'll let them resign so they can keep their pensions and their paid vacations and whatnot. Yeah, I thought that was great, man. Because these people, if they're working as, corrections officers.
Made a video.
Sorry, what was that? There was a lag. Yeah, so if they're working as corrections officers and they're making these fucking ridiculous comments that some of these are making, like, oh, I might fucking raid your cell for nothing, or might tell your baby mama that you've got other people visiting, or whatever that shit that they think's funny, like, but it's, whether it's racist or it's just fucked up, like, these people aren't going to be able to do their jobs in a professional manner, in an unbiased manner. So they shouldn't be fucking. I mean, they shouldn't be doing it in the first place. But
correctional officers are fucking the guys who couldn't make it into the police force. Right. They failed. They couldn't get in, or they're guys who are fucking itching to get onto the police force. So you have all the fucking losers that, you know, were worse than the worst, because, you know, the police department kind of accepts any sort of fucking lunatic into their ranks. They have no standards. Mm-hmm. And these guys were below no standards. Right. So they have to become corrections officers, or guys trying to make their fucking bones and look good so they can get into the academy. Yeah, so they have. So, you know, too, yeah. You know, the corrections officers are pieces of shit, no matter which way you look at it. Yeah. They do right by the folks, you know, and we're just seeing this now, but I mean, we constantly have stories about abuses that go on within the prison systems by the prison guards. There's constant rape, there's constant neglect, there's constant abuse.
Or they'll be bringing in drugs, or bringing in cell phone,
you know,
whatever the fuck, yeah.
So, you know, there's nothing good about a corrections officer. They're pieces of shit.
Yeah. All correction officers are bastards.
Yeah.
Looks like
we're going to have to get another show going with that.
Looks like Shauna Lay, your homegirl, said, "Awesome, Nathaniel." Jurgo Hades commented on the live stream. What's up, Shauna? Thanks for watching. Yeah,
she was one of the main people that started pushing it and made it go viral. So, huge shout out to her. If it wasn't for her, I don't think it would have went that big.
Oh, good shit.
Good.
Thank you, Shauna.
Good, yep.
Karen.
Yeah, thank you, Shauna. It definitely went viral. I saw you posted some of the figures from the website. I mean, you definitely got a lot of traffic heading over there, reading those articles.
Yeah. Normally, in a whole month of articles, when I was writing constantly, we get about 15 to 20,000 views. Just these two articles are 380,000.
Damn.
So we got 380,000 eyes looking at these.
Bravo, sir.
You know, changing hearts and minds, man. You know, we do it one person at a time.
Yeah.
So that's good. It's really good.
Yeah, that's good shit. Put them on blast. I didn't have a chance to like pull some of those screenshots, but like I said, go to the articles. They're all in there. Also, America's Police Problem page has, I think you guys have a whole album with a bunch of those screenshots on there. So yeah, it's crazy. Just see what the mentality of these officers are, and it's fucked up. I mean, some of them are a little more playful than others, but some of this shit is just fucking dark and fucked up.
And this is every time the cop gets behind you, you know this is what they're thinking. Every time you get stopped by a cop, every time you pass one in the street while you're walking, every motorcycle cop that passes you on the highway, you know what they are. You know what their mentality is. You know what they're thinking. So, when you look at them, you got to remember, there are no officer friendlies. That myth has been laid to rest. I don't know, 5,000, 10,000 deaths ago.
Right.
Let's put it that way.
Arondo Johnson, certainly glad to support all that you guys do. Thanks, Arondo. Yeah, anybody watching, you can support by sharing this out, something as simple as that, or liking it. Helps us, commenting, helps us break through the algorithms, help us build our audience. You can invite friends to like our page, just to help us get the word out there. When things go viral, change does happen, as we see with this Feeling Cute challenge. Making this type of shit go viral does create some accountability. So help us out. I mean, you guys, it might seem like something small, but it could definitely have an impact. You can also support ACAB Radio on Patreon.
Woohoo!
Yeah, you can sign up for $1, $1 a month or $1 an episode, just something.
Hell yeah.
Show us that you like what we do and help us to continue to do what we do, because everything.
Yeah, we got some merch we kick back too. We got some kick-ass shirts. We got some little stickers.
Yeah, if you can donate, enough that'll make it worth it to us. A shirt was $20 or something. So
yeah,
throw us $20. We'll mail the shirt out to you, some stickers and stuff. So yeah, help support us, because all this equipment, I mean, it all came out of pocket. We paid for this shit.
And we pay every month. So.
And we're trying to increase our production value, like get a green screen and be able to, mess around with shit. I need this other software to be able to like really pimp out the visuals and everything. So the more money we get, the closer we'll be able to.
Or we'll accept. If you could send us that software, we'd accept that. If anybody has a copy out there that,
for sure,
Adobe.
I think it's called Creative Suite.
Yeah, we're not above accepting donations in that
After
respect
Effects.
either. So, and I kind of like that we share resources.
Right. For sure. So I'm going to go through this group real quick and just read a few headlines for folks. So this is just in the last week, folks. We got this from the New York Post. Authorities angry after deputy charged with raping young child. Like, what are you angry about? Are you angry that the deputy raped a young child, or are you angry that
He was charged.
He got caught, and
he got charged.
Right. This was a win. The Michigan trooper that was convicted for tasing and killing the 15-year-old riding the ATV. That's from Photography is Not a Crime.
Yep. These pigs are killing our children out there.
Yeah.
At least this one's being held accountable, but there's many victims out there, many families who've lost young children to pig violence who never get to see justice.
Right.
The only way they were ever going to get to see justice is if we stand up, and unify, and go out there and say we don't accept this anymore. We don't accept the pigs killing our children.
Right.
Just saying, folks, it's up to you. We're out there, even in Vegas. We organize and speak out. We need more numbers. When the numbers are large enough, we can affect change.
Right.
We can affect change.
For sure.
You don't even got to go protest or anything. Just go out and record cops.
Yeah, that makes a
Let them
difference.
know they're being.
Listen, there's room for everybody. Whatever you do to further the movement, to get it out there, you know, and I'm not saying that everybody has to go out and march. You're right. If you feel more comfortable videotaping and, you know, videotaping the police, or you feel more comfortable like you don't want to get out on the street, but you have financial resources and you're able to help fund, because these things do cost money. You know, production of banners and bullhorns and, you know, even water and stuff for the people out there. You could do that. You could do all sorts of support. There's rooms for everybody within this organization, whatever level you want to participate. But you can't just sit back and do nothing.
Right.
That's not participation. That's not acceptable if you want to see this change happen.
Arondo Johnson says, okay, throw the Patreon link or search term there. That should be used if you would please. Definitely, Arondo. It's ACAB Radio 702, I believe. But we'll share the link after we end this live stream. But yeah, speaking of supporting financially, May Day's coming up. I can't believe it's almost May already, but May 1st, International Workers' Day, the real Labor Day. There is a benefit concert here. What's the address? 1307
I have no idea.
Jackson. But yeah, you can support. They're asking for donations. You can come listen to great bands and eat some good food, good drink. There'll be vendors there and stuff, and that's a fundraiser to help fund the event on May 1st, the march and rally. You know, flyers cost money, banners cost money, water, like you said, like all that stuff costs money. So this is an opportunity for us to raise funds to help fund that. So yeah, International Workers' Day. If you're a worker and you've got more money than time, help out for sure. That's this Friday. Search May Day benefit concert. We'll also share that link as well. But yeah, let me pull up a couple other crazy stories here. So that was a win. The dude tased a 15-year-old that was riding an ATV, and he ended up dying. The trooper that did that was convicted. This is a video of this dude. Oh yeah, this guy gets shot. He's in a detention cell, and the cop mistook his gun for the taser or whatever. Thought he was pulling the taser, pulled the gun, and shoots this dude. Look at this.
You know that's not true. He fucking shot him knowingly.
Yeah. Yeah, they always
always
sorry,
claim
it was
that
an
the
accident.
fucking handles are different. They're on different sides. You know, they don't make mistakes like that. They're trained not to make mistakes like that. You know, but these guys get fucking angry, these pigs. And they want to exact revenge over helpless people. People who are handcuffed people. So, you know, this is their outlet. This is why the people are outraged.
Yeah.
Because of behaviors like this.
Yeah, and the tasers are nothing like a gun, and as you said, they wear them on the other side specifically so that won't happen.
Yeah.
And it's like saying I accidentally picked up a fork thinking it was a spoon. It's two completely different things.
I mean, the handles are different. The weight is different.
Everything is different. They
color
make
is
sure.
different.
It's actually worse than that, because the thing is, you have to squeeze the trigger, and there's no way you're going to confuse a gun with a taser long enough to squeeze the trigger on somebody.
Right.
You know?
He's lucky he didn't shoot his fucking partner. But I do think I have some good news here of a cop shooting his partner. Hold on. Oh, here's a Houston Chronicle covering your Feeling Cute challenge. Might just gas some inmates today. Texas prisons investigating after hashtag Feeling Cute challenge.
Well, that's the white supremacy and the neo-Nazi influence within the police department and the corrections department. There is quite a huge influence.
Washington
of them.
Post. Washington Post. Feeling Cute
I
might
think,
just gas some inmates. Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, I think officers from Texas got fired and 2 resigned over this.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, this is the Washington Post article. You can search that if you want to read that. Also, this Houston Chronicle. Former Allentown cop stole more than $315,000 from firefighter group and used it to eat out and entertain. Yeah, that's some crazy shit.
Hey, you know who'd really like that story? That one dude at the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Headquarters who wants us to kind of shit on the firefighters as much as we shit on the cops.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's his buddy right there getting a little revenge against the fire department. They're kindred spirits, I guess.
YC News covered the hashtag Feeling Cute Challenge. AJC.com. Might shoot your baby daddy. Georgia prison workers. Facebook post under fire.
It made international. Even New Zealand was covering it.
That's awesome, man. This was a cool image. Your guys' logo. Feeling cute, we will expose you. 12-year-old boy hit and killed by Bergen County Sheriff's Patrol car. Here's a bunch of the images. Yeah, it looks like your homegirl Shauna Lay. I got a bunch of her images here. Screenshots of different officers. Feeling cute might put your baby daddy in the shower for 6 hours since we ain't got no beds. That's fucked up. Oh, here's those pictures I was talking about. You standing on the thin blue line flag and you using it as toilet paper. Nice. Yeah, definitely head over to americaspoliceproblem.com. Read these articles. Check out some of these screenshots here. Look, they got 65 of them right here. It's crazy.
Quite a bit.
Video shows guards left inmate to die outside of prison, the family says. New York Post article. I mean, look at all these. We covered some of these. This is the Vegas LVMPD articles we mentioned earlier when they shot the dog during the welfare check, killed the dog. Police are now taking roadside blood samples to catch impaired drivers, so DUI checkpoints are now fucking like vampires taking your blood and shit.
That's really, really troubling.
Yeah.
Giving them access to, to do anything like that, it violates your basic human rights.
Well, yeah,
So it's more than just, we're trying to keep people safe. There's other things they could detain you if they really think so. But to give them access to your blood and allow them to do that is very, very troubling. And you should really be worried.
for sure. Know your rights, people. Right here, Washington court said they just ruled refusing to let cops enter your home without warrants isn't obstruction. So they don't have a warrant, tell them to fuck off. Mesquite SRO accidentally fires gun inside Horn High School. So this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, having cops in schools. This guy accidentally fired his gun.
Resource officer. Yep.
Yeah. This was a fucked up video. This dude was outside of a Burger King, had a gun. They told him to drop the gun, so he goes to drop it, and they fucking blast him.
It's intentional, you know.
Yeah. Well, when you got a gun, if they don't just shoot you, they're going to tell you throw it on the ground, so as soon as you reach for it, then they can shoot you, you know. So he reached to pull it out of his pocket, and fucking...
Right.
They blasted him. Did you see that one, Nate? The video of
the Burger King
outside of Burger King. Yeah, that was fucked up. And then you see the lady that worked. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead.
Oh, the lady at Burger King like walked up to the guy, you know, like she's not afraid of him, but here are these two fucking coward cops. And the lady cop ended up just dumping on him, and then her partner starts shooting at once she starts shooting, and it's like, fuck, dude. This guy didn't make any fast movements or anything, and his like dying words were, "You told me to." Like, you told me to fucking put the gun on the ground and
this
killed me anyways.
That's also not unusual when they're shooting people that they detain or people who are armed. Especially when there's two pigs on site, they'll give conflicting orders. They'll give conflicting commands. So if you comply with one, you're not complying with the other, and that, somehow they think that justifies them being able to shoot and murder you.
Mm-hmm.
And they do it all the time. I mean, it's a common practice. It happens so often. That is a common practice in what they do.
Looks like we got a new patron.
All right.
Captain Red Eye.
Captain Red Eye, thank you so much.
Pledged $5. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Awesome.
We're on a roll now. Let's see if we could double that number.
All right. Yeah, we got to share that out. Inmate screamed for an hour before the death in Spokane County Jail. I'm not going to read all these, but let me just run through these real quick before we wrap this show up. Right here. Inmate screamed for an hour before death in Spokane County Jail. This is all just from this week. New Jersey State Police trooper charged with receiving sexually explicit photos of 5-year-old girl from her own mother. This was the video of the Broward coward smashing the student's face into the floor. You guys saw that. Death of Rhode Island man jailed for days without water. So these are the same inmates saying, #feeling cute, might not give an inmate water for a fucking week. Well,
exactly.
this guy died in custody in a jail cell because there was no fucking water in his cell. Definitely head over to the Free Thought Project. This is another one. Insane cop jumps on hood of man's car and murders him. And, of course, faces no charges. Another one. They've got a bunch of stories this week. So, here we go. XLA. Oh, sorry.
The homeless guy with 5 fist strikes and 20.
Sorry, it was breaking up. What happened? Homeless guy, what?
Did you hear about the Phoenix cop that gave 45 fist strikes and 23 knee strikes to a homeless man?
Oh, fuck.
No, I doesn't sound familiar.
Wow.
But I'm not surprised.
Yeah, that's rough.
I mean, even in Las Vegas here, there's been an unprecedented police presence where they're going out and harassing the homeless. I've noticed in the Hunt Ridge Park area and along the what they would consider the Maryland corridor. They're out. It's almost like saturation teams that were set up just to go after people they perceive to be homeless. And they're just brutal. Threatening them, threatening to file false charges against them. Make shit up so they'd go to jail. Lying to them, continuously, just to force them and make their lives even more difficult than it already is. So the pigs are, they're brutal. They're brutal here with that. It's heartbreaking. You see them. It's a nonstop harassment, and that's also because we have way too many cops in Las Vegas. They overhire, and the fucking cops get bored. So, you got a bored cop on your hand. What are they going to do? They're going to look to fuck with people.
Yep.
They're going to stop every little thing that they see or they perceive or try to instigate problems just so they have something to do. They really are a plague in our community.
Mm-hmm.
Are a plague in our community. They're making us very unsafe.
Yeah, look at this fucking dude right here. Ex-LAPD officer. And they only say ex-LAPD officer because it sounds good, right? He's not a cop anymore. Well, when he did this shit, he was a cop. So, LAPD officer sentenced to 5 years in prison for sexually assaulting 13-year-old girl in Torrance. Two Elk Grove police officers injure one another while apprehending burglary suspect. This is the good news I was telling you about.
Oh, that's the good news story of the day, folks.
Yeah, they're
if
so eager to shoot this guy, they fucking shot each other.
And they probably both deserved it, so.
We covered that story. City cop violates jurisdiction. Yeah, this guy was acting like a fucking vigilante and just going wherever he wants. Virginia police sergeant fired after being linked to white supremacy. Oh, kind of like the Aryan Brotherhood that stabbed the 4 black guys.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
There's so many ties. I mean,
cop and clan go hand in hand.
absolutely.
This was some good news. Ex-Black Panther gets new appeal hearing for 1981 cop killing. Yeah, Mumia's getting a new hearing.
Thank God.
Yeah.
You know, they were executing Black Panthers on site, stopping them.
Yeah.
You know, that was, you know, what was issued. They were told there were planned executions for these guys.
Mhm.
So you can't blame anybody. It would be self-defense.
Yeah.
Self-defense. If you know an assassin's coming to kill you and you get them first, self-defense. No charges. You should be free.
Yeah, that's the way. There was a meme actually shared today, I believe, by Police the Police. It was a picture of a guy going at a cop with a stick, and it's like, I agree with self-defense against any aggressor, regardless of what fucking costume they're wearing, basically.
Exactly.
Was the gist of it, right?
Yep.
I mean, if an aggressor's coming at you, you have the natural right to defend yourself. It doesn't matter if they got a fucking badge on or whatever.
No. No, I mean, they got a badge on and a fucking, clan uniform under that badge, too. So, whatever the uniform they decide to wear that day while they're out doing their fucking murders.
All right, I think we're going to wrap this up. 2 Boulder County Sheriff's deputies charged in death of man being taken to detox. So they've been charged, but we all know we'll follow this case, and then the charges will be dropped. Video shows Yakima County officials releasing inmates near Seattle homeless camp. This pissed me off because, cops obviously view homeless people like trash, and then inmates as well, so they just drop them off like they're trash on the fucking under the highway underpass. It's like, what the fuck, dude? And then also, it endangers the homeless community if you're releasing, violent suspects or violent people. Yeah, you do your time. Of course, you deserve your freedom, but they get out and they've got nothing, they've got no resources available to them. What's to stop them from attacking a homeless, or they haven't gotten pussy in fucking 10 years and there's a woman here that's defenseless, you know what I mean? They might rape some homeless woman. You never know, if they're releasing rapists or child molesters or whatever, and then they release these people right next to a homeless encampment. Like, what the fuck? Like, whatever happened to just, walking out of the jail or something? I don't know. They go drop them off, fucking...
Yeah, they drop us,
well,
they're not to prison, but, we're in the jail, CDC, man. They drop you off by the Golden Nugget. That's where you're released.
Right.
By the casino.
Well, at least you can go play some craps or some shit. Police cruiser runs over sunbather on Venice Beach. Somebody sunbathing. This fucking cop just ran him over. It's crazy. Montebello officer killed when weapon discharged in locker room.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of saying this officer killed himself, look how they word it. Montebello officer killed when weapon discharged in locker room.
Well, I didn't read that article, but how do you know it was suicide and not one of his fellow officers? Maybe this cop was a snitch.
Could be. They said that he was alone when the gun went off, but yeah. It's a nice story, right? Yeah, you never know.
He was reporting on the bad activities. Maybe he had enough of the fucking bullshit with his brothers in blue.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it anymore and was going to come clean and actually, try to do the moral thing. And they couldn't allow that to happen. That's one scenario. Suicide is another. Finally all his dirty deeds caught up to him. Right. And he did what every other cop should do and, stopped it.
Yeah.
I support I support that officer 100% in his decision. And, that should be the next challenge for the police officers. Yeah.
The Root covered the Feeling Cute challenge. That was pretty cool. TheRoot.com. The headline here: Feeling Cute, corrections officers feeling jobless after controversial social media post. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, enjoy that unemployment line. Good stuff. All right. We're going to wrap things up here. Nathaniel Dimoff, thank you for coming on. So if people want to check out your work, definitely America's Police Problem. Where can they find you?
Mainly photography is not a crime, but I also do some work on the America's Police Problem.
Sweet. Awesome. Yeah, definitely check out his work. He does great work. Support him in any way you can, whether it's just sharing articles or are you on Patreon or anything like that?
No, that's the thing. With my website, even though it has ads, that's just because of the host. Up until the beginning of this year, I was completely doing it all 100% out of pocket.
Mm.
I don't take donations. I don't do nothing just so people can't say, well, you're taking money for this, that, and the other. That's 100% out of pocket.
That's what's up.
Damn, that's tough.
Yeah, good
That
shit,
gets really
brother.
tough, man. You know, to be able to self-support.
Yep.
Yeah, good stuff. So yeah, thank you for coming on, man, and keep up the great work, man.
So,
Keep
yeah.
fighting. All right. That was Nathan Dimoff. Let me close this here. With America's Police Problem
There we go. Bink.
and Photography is Not a Crime. Two great websites, two great Facebook pages. So if you haven't yet, go over there, like their pages. Yeah, they do great work. What else, guys? Got some events coming up or anything?
Not that I could think of at the moment.
Let me see if I can pull up any events coming up. Oh yeah, the May Day benefit concert. We already
And-
plugged it. Friday at 5:30 to
We-
11 p.m. at
May Day.
Yeah,
which
when's our
is
next
May
show?
1st,
Yeah, when's our next show?
May Day, May 1st.
the 30th. Day
Oh,
before.
so we have a week, yeah. Yeah, and folks, remember that, there's always First Friday coming up in Las Vegas. And, definitely participate down there. See Guerrilla Culture.
Yeah.
They'll be doing some work, so don't forget about those guys.
Oh, I
Just 'cause there's
forgot
a
they're
couple
gonna be out
shows.
there, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I might
so-
go check that out. The address for the May Day benefit concert is 1304 Jackson Avenue, 5:30 to 11 p.m. this Friday. Help us raise some money for May Day. May Day is May 1st. It's a Wednesday, so a week from tomorrow. Let me see if we can find some other events. McKee Ranch has been doing some cool things. Check them out. Yoga in the park, Sunset Park. Ambra does that. Check that out. Free monthly farmers market. So, yeah, if you need some breathing room on your bills or whatever, they got a free farmers market put on by Southgate Learning and Resource Center. 6620 West Katy Avenue here in Las Vegas. And I don't know if it's monthly or weekly, but I see they're always doing events.
Mhm.
That's Saturday, April 27th at 11 a.m. Pampered Pooch Party.
Oh, that was canceled.
Oh, okay.
That one's not going to go on. Now, for everybody, I'm sorry we're a day late, but there was a hell of an event yesterday. Some local underground wrestlers came to town and did a fantastic event. I want to shout out and thank those guys for putting on such a good show.
Hell yeah.
Man, that was fun.
You
You
should
know,
wear a helmet if you stand up close to the stage.
I'm telling you, man, it's audience participation. Our own Kelly Special K, man, was wounded in action, diving in front of flying glass, the fluorescent tubes that they were beating each other with.
Oh, shit. It was like some backyard wrestling?
Oh, it was beautiful. The guy even had one of those garden weasels, and they're using garden weasels on each other.
Oh, shit.
It was a lot of fun. Those guys were really cool.
sounds
Put on
fucking
a great
crazy.
show for everybody. It was well worth it. Hopefully they'll be back again. And if they do show up, we'll throw it up there so you guys can come and participate. I think it was like $10 to see some bands and them, and it was worth every dollar.
Nice.
Yeah.
This Sunday, April 28th, 8:30 a.m., protest ADL hypocrisy. Jewish Voices for Peace putting that on. I went to one of their events before. It was pretty cool. they showed like a video. I forget what it was called, but it was like Jewish soldiers, IDF soldiers speaking out. But it was a play using the transcript, and I don't know, it was pretty cool. So they do good work. Protest ADL hypocrisy. It says ADL promotes itself as a leader against hate and injustice, but is consistently silent when Palestinian civilians are attacked by settlers, terrorized by Israeli police, jailed by unjust military courts, and robbed of their homes and land by the Israeli occupation. The ADL even blames Palestinian victims for Israel's excessive violence. So speak out against them this Sunday, 8:30 a.m. at Springs Preserve. I think that's it. Oh, we were talking about quash your bench warrants. Here's an event. May 4th.
Oh, May 4th be with you, yeah.
9 a.m. You can go. It's a Saturday.
Where is it being held?
The Regional Justice Center, I guess. If you're in warrant from missing a Clark County court date, our office is sponsoring a Quash Your Bench Warrant event on May 4th with Commissioner Lawrence Weekly.
Yeah. So you go down there to the Regional Injustice Center.
With an open warrant.
If it's not one of those fake things where they just draw you down there so they can arrest you, then they'll quash your warrant.
Yeah, that could be.
Your warrant,
I don't know if I'd want to walk into a fucking that area with an open warrant.
Your warrant's going to get taken care of one way or the other.
Exactly.
Come on down.
And they will quash something.
Yeah, and you know, if you're really interested in May 4th, it's a free comic book day. So I would suggest going to all the comic book stores before you go to try to get your warrant quashed. But otherwise, enjoy free comic book day from all your local comic book vendors.
For sure.
And you know, throughout Las Vegas.
What's the name of the one that's
Alternate Reality with Ralph?
He's awesome.
That's over on Flamingo in Maryland. Always has a great event going on. I mean, he always does more above and beyond.
I would suggest eating before you go to the Regional Injustice Center.
Yeah, that's another thing.
You might not eat for another 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, and drink plenty, you know. Make sure you hydrate well.
May the 4th, I also saw that the McKee Ranch was having I don't know what movie, but they're doing like a movie screening there. I was thinking about taking my son down there, and got all kinds of animals and stuff, pigs and horses and whatnot. You can go and like read to the animals. I want to check that out. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff going on in Vegas. Get involved, people. Support ACAB Radio. Support your local anarchists. We support the community. We need the community's support. Help us get our content out there. If you go to our Facebook page, you can click the Invite Friends tab and just go through your friends list. See, people that you think might be interested in this type of content, and invite them to like our page. Help us grow our audience. We'd appreciate it. Check out nvcopblock.org, acabradio.com. What else? Food Not Bombs, LasVegas.org.
Yeah.
Food Not Bombs every Sunday. We got to get back to Mondays, man. I want to start helping out again, but I work Sundays. I'm off Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday we do the show, so Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
if we
definitely
can organize something, man, I want to get back involved with Food Not Bombs.
You know, anybody local wants to get involved, man, just, go to our page, see the events, show up. If you come down, you'll meet the people who are interested, like-minded people, and sit down, and we can use that time to discuss expanding back to our Mondays. Our traditional stomping ground is still closed, even after a promised and still listed April 2nd opening. They still have barriers and chains around the park, so I'm not exactly sure what it means.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I've noticed that the police presence within that area, is tremendous now. And it doesn't, every time because I live in that area, it's not one time that I don't pass through coming home or going someplace that I don't see the police stopping and harassing the homeless folks within that neighborhood. Constant bombardment, and for no just reasons.
Yep, get involved, folks. My decision to get involved with Food Not Bombs was probably one of the best decisions I made with my life. Met some great folks. We formed this show. From there, I got involved with NV Cop Block. It's changed the trajectory of my life. I mean, after helping one day there, I started doing it every week, and then even going out and doing our own thing with other people, and we've started a nonprofit now, Solidarity Not Charity. So just get out there, do some good, you know. You meet some great people. I'm born and raised here. I've ditched all my old friends that are still out running and gunning, doing the same old dumb shit, and met a lot of people from Food Not Bombs, just local activists, and it's just completely changed my life. So help yourself, help the community, help those in need, and it'll change your life. Yeah, with that being said, thanks for tuning in. Tune in next week, the 30th. It will be, episode 44.
All right.
Yep, getting
Big
up
4-4.
there. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a good one. Peace.